Cinema Classics is brought to you by the Gateway Film Center, 1550 North High Street, Columbus, Ohio. For their details and showtimes online at gatewayfilmcenter.com.
The award-winning Cinema Classics is produced by John DeSando and Johnny DiLoretto. Listen to the shows and read reviews online at WCBE.org and like us on Facebook. I'm Johnny DiLoretto.
I'm John DeSando.
This is Cinema Classics.
And where are we? We're not at Gateway.
No, we're not at the Gateway Film Center this time. We're in your humble abode.
You're
Look at these beautiful apples. Look at this art we have here. Handsomely appointed condo of yours. This is really nice.
It's appropriate, don't you think, for such
I would have
a
thought
high
maybe
class.
you poured me a glass of wine or something.
No. I need you. I need your wits for this one.
Okay. Johnny Depp.
It is Johnny Depp. Why are we doing Johnny Depp?
Because he's got a new film coming out called Black Mass.
Oh, right.
And word is he gives an actual performance in it. That's the word. Early word, John. Johnny Depp shows up to act.
You know, we had talked about Robert Redford, whom I have a real admiration for.
Yeah.
And I have mixed feelings about Johnny Depp. And this is why I'm glad
I'm really ambivalent about him, and mostly bivalent.
You know, I mean,
wait a second, that was a really good joke. Let's not let that go by. You know, here's a guy who burst onto the scene in the late 80s, mid 80s with 21 Jump Street. He was this incredible, talk about good looks. This guy had those kind of looks that were off-putting.
Yeah.
He was too good looking. He was the cover of Teen Beat good looking.
Yeah.
And then he made the foray into feature films, and he did this really smart, admirable thing at the time, which was he was going to initially make fun of his good looks, which he did in movies like Crybaby, John Waters' movie. And then he started taking these outsider roles for Tim Burton, like Edward Scissorhands,
boy,
you know, and hiding behind a lot of white makeup and fright wigs, and you know, giving these kind of really mannered, eccentric performances.
Gilbert Grape.
What's Eating Gilbert? Actually, What's Eating Gilbert Grape? It's probably one of his better performances because he's playing a real human being. He's not hiding behind makeup in Gilbert Grape. He's not hiding behind some sort of overly mannered weirdo.
Well, you know, who better to play Ed Wood?
And you know,
an eccentric Johnny Depp.
Right, and I that remains to this day one of my favorite Johnny Depp performances because again, he's not hiding behind makeup. It is a Tim Burton movie, but it's you know, he's playing a real person. He's playing this really wacko director from the 50s who was is widely considered to be the worst filmmaker who's ever lived. And he's delightfully oblivious to his lack of talent. And Depp is really great at it, and there's a pathos that's underneath that goofy persona.
Well, you know, and we're talking about the 90s, which I think is really for him, a super time.
Sure.
And then when he gets with Marlon Brando in Don Juan DeMarco.
Yeah, what a dud. I'm
saying, isn't that interesting? Two fabulous actors. First of all, Brando walked through it, right? I mean,
of course.
He did. He was such a disappointment. I thought, as I recollect, Johnny Depp playing somebody obsessed with Don Juan, with the Lord Byron's Don Juan, as some would call it, was a good role, but I've forgotten whether, in fact, Brando brought out better in him, or whether he went to Brando's technique level and never went in depth.
I'm not sure what happened in that movie. I remember it being a huge disappointment. I remember at that time getting excited, you know, because Brando was doing things again.
Yes.
But then he just would show up and it was like, you know, Brando and De Niro made a movie, The Score, and that was terrible.
Oh, God.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp, you know, for many years in his career, was an admirable movie star because he took risks.
Yeah.
He was interested in doing, you know, how about Dead Man by Jim Jarmusch?
Wow.
You know,
Forgotten.
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas for Terry Gilliam. He tried to work with quality directors, and he tried to give audiences something a little different. However, now this is where he loses me. He just started going back to that Tim Burton
stuff.
White
Sleepy
face
Hollow.
makeup, Sleepy Hollow, Alice in Wonderland. You know, the best of those movies, in my opinion, is Sweeney Todd.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I actually enjoyed his performance and enjoyed his singing, but too many times did that Tim Burton well, and then Pirates of the Caribbean
yeah,
happened.
I'm done. I'm tired of it.
Now, I'll
I
tell
can't
you,
even go see him.
let me just paint the picture for you. When that movie, the first one came out,
Yeah.
I remember seeing that movie and thinking, okay, having zero expectations,
Yeah.
thinking this was going to be utter tripe. And then I'm watching this movie and I think, oh my God, Johnny Depp, his performance is a slap in the face to the producers who spent $100 million on making the movie, and to audiences, because he played it as it seemed like a goof, it seemed like a joke.
Oh, and it was all typical Depp technique, as far as I'm concerned, that he began to build on in a career. All these tics,
Right.
all the eccentricity.
But I think he was deliberately trying to undermine a blockbuster. And what happened was the exact opposite. People loved it. People loved that ridiculous performance. And then he created a whole franchise out of it.
Listen, I jump back. I think we're both irritated by this pirate
Yeah.
stuff. Although it allows him to buy an island, marry Vanessa Paradis, do things
Right.
that only fabulously wealthy guy can
Sure,
do.
sure.
But I thought you would really like
Mm-hmm.
in the late '90s,
Mm-hmm.
Donnie Brasco.
Yes. Well, I did really like that.
Okay,
Well,
but-
I will say this. I like it mostly because of Pacino's anti-Godfather performance. Johnny Depp seems a little out of his element there.
Okay.
He's not, he's not trying to upstage. He wanted to work with a quality director. Let me try that again. He wanted to work with a quality director, Mike Newell, who was hot off of Four Weddings and a Funeral.
Good one. God,
that
your
time.
memory is fantastic.
And he wanted to work with Pacino, but he was ill-suited, I believe, for that part. Now, a part that you would also think he's ill-suited for is this Black Mass, in which he plays
Yes.
Whitey Bulger,
Ooh,
a real-life, brutal,
Yeah.
murderous
yeah.
Boston gangster,
Yep.
and he has disappeared behind a little makeup, a little prosthetic nose, and some balding, like a balding
Yeah,
application.
it's
Uh,
disconcerting.
But, and he's got these contacts in his eyes. He wears these contacts that make his pupils sort of narrow,
Okay.
and they're always narrow. They're always at the same sort of.
Lee Van Cleef.
Yeah, it's really weird. It creates a really unsettling effect. However, he really is giving a full characterization here, a chilling performance as this guy. He's got, I don't know, I know we think maybe there might be some Oscar buzz behind it. I think he'll get a nomination. I don't think he'll
Good.
win.
But he's back.
I would hope that this signals a desire on his part to get back to acting. At least every few years give us a performance. I don't care if you go back to the, if you want to make a commercial blockbuster every once in a while, that's fine. But as he gets older, like Brad Pitt, here's a guy, Brad Pitt, who relied on his looks for so many years and is now settled into a really comfortable character actor type of persona.
And now I thought, now I know we're skipping around, but I'm anxious to ask you this. One of our themes for this show is from Willy Wonka,
Yeah.
and we know that Depp played it, and I'm wondering how against Gene Wilder you would look at the two and say, okay,
If Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka defecated in the fizzy lifting room, Johnny Depp's Willy Wonka would lift off of the floor and get chopped up in the fan in the ceiling. That's what I think of Johnny Depp.
and why?
Why? Because, I'll tell you why. Because Gene Wilder's performance in that movie is not only one of the great performances in a family film, but I think one of the great performances I've ever seen. He is full of charm, he is full of warmth, and yet full of menace, and you never quite know what's going on.
Yeah,
it's an enigmatic and yet really human performance when he allows you to see Willy Wonka's heart, but also Willy Wonka's disgust with with human behavior.
Well, he's a bit of a bad boy.
And I don't think you see any of that in Johnny Depp's performance. It's a one-note, white-faced makeup for Tim Burton song and dance number.
Oh, yeah.
It's crap.
Yeah. Now, then tell me what happened in The Lone Ranger. When he played Tonto, I would have thought,
Okay, here, if Silver had defecated on the prairie, Johnny Depp's performance is what comes out of Silver. I don't know what to tell you, man. I think the idea, the concept was vaguely interesting, but you know that Tonto was the actual brains behind the Lone Ranger operation.
but don't you think we're moving toward a kind of Brando-esque discussion? In other words, we're taking a genius, and we're saying,
you're using the word genius.
I am using, I
I'm
think,
not.
I think,
I'm not gonna use that word.
all right, well, we're
Now are you
taking,
talking about Brando? 'Cause Brando is a genius.
I know Brando's a genius, and I think Depp's a genius, but I think.
Can you even
All
say
right,
that?
all right, all right.
No, let me ask you this, because you know, oftentimes you will throw the word genius around like this. Now, I want to know, on a scale of genius, where Brando is and where Depp is. Are they close? Are they far apart on the genius scale? Where on the genius continuum?
I always believe
lie?
that Brando has no peer.
Okay,
All right, even Daniel Day-Lewis, whom I've mentioned before, whom
Yes.
I really admire. But I think Depp, you can't just have only one genius
I didn't
as
say
an
that.
actor.
I'm
And I
not
think
saying
Depp has all the resources to play any character he wants. And now he's playing himself.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's evolved into eccentric tics that are Johnny Depp's.
Yeah.
And I thought Brando, now we know Brando, now here's a real genius. Brando, it is said, would give a director 2 takes on the same scene.
Mm-hmm.
One would be the heart, fully felt.
Right.
The other one would be all technique.
Uh-huh.
And depending on which one the director selected is how he was going to act in the rest of the film.
Is that
If
right?
the director picked just
I want to
technique-
read about that.
yeah, and I'll give you the
That's
name,
great.
name of the book afterwards, in which this is discussed.
Yeah.
But isn't that to me is real genius, and I've realized that probably Depp doesn't get there, but I've got to have some genius room here.
I see what you're saying. I mean, I think that Johnny Depp has had a lot of potential, and he's shown us some of it over the years. I still think there is a lot he could be giving us.
Yes.
Listen, audiences the world over have given him millions and millions and millions of dollars. The least he can give guys like us is a decent performance every couple of years.
Well, I guess what we have to look forward to, and we have to hold ourselves back and say, I wonder what it's going to be like to see him as the Mad Hatter.
I can only imagine. Well, let me see. There's the Mad Hatter. If the Cheshire Cat
No,